Hello everybody, today in this video I am going to talk about how to sketch the graph of trigonometric functions. Actually, many students find that this topic is very hard to understand and they face a lot of problem when sketching the graph of trigonometric functions. So that's why today I try to use the simpler but effective method. Hope that this video can really help you. So if you found that this video really benefit you, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Before we start the lesson, let's look at the graph of the trigo function. From the diagram, we can see that the graph of sine x and cos x are continuous functions from negative infinity up to positive infinity. And we also notice that the graph repeats every 2 pi because 2 pi is equal to 1 circle. As for the graph of tangent x, same thing, tangent x, the curve also repeat every 2 pi. But tangent x is not continuous function because there are some of the value of x where the tangent x is not defined. When sketching the graphs of trigonometry, the domain of the graph can be changed. When the domain changes, the graph will also change. So for example, the diagrams below show the graph of y equals sine 2x. With different domain. The first diagram, the domain is from 0 to 2 pi. So we can see that from 0 to 2 pi, the graph for sine 2x, there are 2 periods. First period is from 0 to pi. The second period is from pi to 2 pi. The second diagram shows that the domain has been changed to 0 to pi. So when the domain changes to 0 to pi, so we only take the part of the curve which is in the interval. When the domain changes to negative 2 pi up to 2 pi, so beside the positive 2 pi on the right hand side, we need to add in another 2 pi on the left hand side as the negative value. Now for the fourth diagram, the domain is from negative pi to positive pi. So we only take the part of the graph which is inside the interval. So overall, we can see that when the domain changes, the shape of the graph will also change. When sketching graph of trigonometric functions, we can use the transformation method that we have learned before. That is, negative x means reflection by using y-axis. A means enlargement by using scale factor of 1 over a. And B means translation left or right. Negative means reflection by using x-axis. C means enlargement by using x-axis with scale factor C. And D means translation up or down. The only different thing is in sketching trigonometric function, A at the same time also represents the number of periods in the domain. C means the amplitude of the graph. Now we look at this example. Sketch the graph of y equals 2 sine 3 over 4 x plus 1 over 4 pi for x greater than negative pi and less than positive pi. Since we are using the transformation method, means we need to start from a parent graph. And the question here, it is sine function. So the parent graph, we can start from y equals sine x. Here, I put in the 2 here. So in trig function, 2 means the amplitude of the function. So for amplitude, it is always the same. So I straight away put in the amplitude as the parent graph in order to reduce the working step. Now we need to label the graph. First, the amplitude. Since the amplitude is 2, so the maximum point is 2 and the minimum point is -2. Then from 0 up to here, this is 1 period. So we know that 1 period, it is equal to 2 pi. Then from 0 up to here, it is half of period. Half period, it is equal to pi. Then after that, for this maximum point, this is 1 over 2 pi. And this minimum point is 3 over 2 pi. Now the same thing goes to the negative side. So from 0 up to here, it is -2 pi. It is 1 period. Half of the period is -pi. And the minimum point is -1 over 2 pi. And the maximum point here, it is -3 over 2 pi. Now we need to determine the number of periods in this function. Now from the equation, we found that the number of periods is 3 over 4 periods. So now from this diagram, 1 period is 2 pi. Now we divide this 1 period 2 pi into 4 equal parts. So means from 0 up to 1 over 2 pi is first quarter. From 1 over 2 pi to pi is second quarter. And from pi to 3 over 2 pi, it is third, and finally fourth quarter. Now, since this equation, we only need 3 over 4 periods. 3 over 4 period means 3 quarters. So, means we need to take from 0 up to 3 over 2 pi. The same thing goes to negative. We need to take 3 over 4 period, start from 0, then to the left. So, means the number of periods that we need is from 0 up to -3 over 2 pi. Now we need to take out the part of the graph which is marked with the red color ink. So after we take out the part labeled with red color ink, so this is the graph for y equals 2 sine 3 over 4x. Then we need to label the graph. So first we start from the amplitude, +2 and -2. Then after that we need to label the important point, which is the maximum point, minimum point, and x-intercept. So now under the trigonometry function, 3 over 4 here means the number of periods of the function. But under the transformation, 3 over 4 here means we need to carry out enlargement by using scale factor equal to 1 over a. In this case, a is 3 over 4. So means after simplifying, we found that the scale factor is 4 over 3. And since the enlargement is x coordinate transformation, means the center of the enlargement is at y-axis. Now we start from the first point. For this point, before enlargement, it is 3 over 2. So after enlargement, we need to multiply with the scale factor. So means the image of after the enlargement is equals to 2 pi. So means this minimum point is 2 pi. Now we go to second point. For this point, before enlargement is pi. So after enlargement, after we multiply with the scale factor, it is 4 over 3 pi. So we label here 4 over 3 pi. Then followed by this point, before enlargement, it is 1 over 2 pi. So after enlargement, it is equal to 2 over 3 pi. So we label here 2 over 3 pi. Then as for the point which is at the center is always unchanged. Next we go to this point. Before enlargement it is negative 1 over 2 pi. After enlargement we multiply with the scale factor. It is negative 2 over 3 pi. So we label here negative 2 over 3 pi. Then same as this one. Before enlargement, it is negative pi. After enlargement, multiply with the scale factor. It is negative 4 over 3 pi. And the last point, here, before enlargement, it is negative 3 over 2 pi. After enlargement, we multiply with 4 over 3. We found that that is negative 2 pi. Now up to here we have already finished the graph for y equals 2 sine 3 over 4x. Next we need to continue to the graph 3 over 4x plus 1 over 4 pi. So this one means we need to carry out the translation either to the left or to the right. To determine this, we try to set this value into 0 and after that we try to find the value of x. So we found that after simplifying, we found that the value of x is negative 1 over 3 pi. So when x is negative means we need to shift the whole curve to the left hand side for 1 over 3 pi. This means all the points on the graph need to be shifted to the left for 1 over 3 pi unit. So generally after shifting to the left, the whole curve generally roughly looks like this. Now after shifting, so the graph looks like this. Now we need to label the graph. Since this is translation shifted to the left for 1 over 3 pi, so means all the value of x need to be minus 1 over 3 pi. Now we start from the first point, minimum point here. Before the translation, x is 2 pi. After the translation, we minus 1 over 3 pi. We will get 5 over 3 pi. So means the x here it is 5 over 3 pi. Then we go to this point. This point before the translation it is 4 over 3 pi. So after translation we minus 1 over 3 pi. So means the new value it is equal to pi. So we label here pi. Then for this value before translation it is 2 over 3 pi. After translation, we minus 1 over 3 pi means it is 1 over 3 pi. So here we label 1 over 3 pi. As for this point, before translation is 0, after translation it is negative 1 over 3 pi. Now for this minimum value, before translation, the x is negative 2 over 3 pi. After translation, minus 1 over 3. So it is equal to negative pi. So we label here negative pi. As for this point, before the translation, it is negative 4 over 3 pi. After the translation, means it is equal to negative 5 over 3 pi. So this is negative 5 over 3 pi. And the last point before translation is negative 2 pi. After the translation, we get negative 7 over 3 pi. So we label here negative 7 over 3 pi. And of course, don't forget about the amplitude. It is positive 2 and negative 2. Now up to here means we have already finished all the transformation. Now we go to the final step. That is, we must make sure the final graph must be in between the domain that is given in the question. That is from negative pi up to positive pi. Now from the diagram, negative pi is here and positive pi is here. Means for the final answer, we only need to show the part of the graph which is here, in between the negative pi up to positive pi. Then the rest of the part of the graph we just ignore. So means after taken away the extra part, so this is the final graph for this function y equals 2 sine 3 over 4x plus 1 over 4 pi, where x is from negative pi up to positive pi. Now we look at this example. Sketch the graph of y equals negative 2 cos 4 over 3x minus 1 over 3 pi for x greater than 0 to 2 pi. So from the equation, you can see that we can take the parent graph of y equals 2 cos x as the parent graph. So when we look at the domain, because the domain is greater than 0 up to 2 pi, so we just need to take the positive value, negative value we just ignore. Then here, we take 2 periods here. So cos for 1 period is from a big U shape. So we take 2 periods because from the equation, the number of period here, it is 4 over 3. 4 over 3 means it is more than 1 period. Since the number of period is more than 1, so the parent graph will start from 2 periods. So first we label the graph. So first, the amplitude. Then secondly, for 1 complete period, it is 1 big U. So means this 2 pi is here. 1 complete period is 2 pi. So another complete period is 4 pi. Then pi is half of the period, so here is pi. So another here, it is 3 pi here. Then for this one, it is half of pi. 1 over 2 pi. So this one is 3 over 2 pi. This one is 5 over 2 pi. This one is 7 over 2 pi. Then because this equation has got negative in front, so means negative, this one is y coordinate transformation. Negative means we need to do reflection by using x-axis as the line of reflection. So after doing the reflection, so we will get the graph here. Now based on the second graph, now we need to take the number of period. So when we look at the equation, the number of period is 4 over 3. So 4 over 3 means 1 and 1 over 3 periods. So means we need to take 1 complete period. Then after that, another 1 over 3 periods. So since 1 over 3, it is in between 1 over 4 and 1 over 2. So 1 over 3 period is greater than 1 over 4 period but less than 1 over 2 period. So in the second period, from 2 pi up to 5 over 2 pi, it is 1 over 4 period. Then up to 3 pi, it is 1 over 2 period. So means 1 over 3 period, it is somewhere here. So means we need another 1 over 3 period up to here. So now this means that we only need to take the part of the graph which is marked with the red colored ink. So after we have take up the part which is labeled with the red colored ink, so this is the one. So this one becomes the graph y equals negative 2 cos 4 over 3x, because we only take the 4 over 3 periods from the parent graph. Now we need to label the graph. Now to do this, when we refer back to the equation, this one is cos 4 over 3x. So 4 over 3 means we need to carry out enlargement by using scale factor, which is equal to 1 over a. And in this case, a is 4 over 3. So after simplify means the scale factor is 3 over 4. So means we need to carry out enlargement with the scale factor 3 over 4 by using y-axis as the center of the enlargement. Now we can start label. Of course, we can start from the amplitude 2, positive 2 and negative 2. Okay, now for the first point, before the enlargement, the first point is 1 over 2 pi. So 1 over 2 pi after enlargement with scale factor 3 over 4, we will get 3 over 8 pi. So means we label here 3 over 8 pi. Now as for the maximum point, Before enlargement is pi. After enlargement with 3 over 4. So means this maximum point is 3 over 4 pi. Then for this x-intercept, before enlargement is 3 over 2 pi. After enlargement with scale factor of 3 over 4, we will get 9 over 8 pi. So here we label this one as 9 over 8 pi. Next, we come to the minimum point here. Before enlargement is 2 pi. After enlargement with 3 over 4, then we will get 3 over 2 pi. So now we label here as 3 over 2 pi. Next, this one is x-intercept. Before enlargement is 5 over 2 pi. After enlargement, we will get 15 over 8 pi. So we label here 15 over 8 pi. Then last point here, even though we don't know what is the value of the initial value of x, but after enlargement with the scale factor 3 over 4, for sure this value will go to 2 pi. So we label this one as 2 pi. Next, we need to continue to the translation where the translation is either to the left or to the right. So to determine this one, so we need to set it becomes 0. Then after that, we try to find the value of x. So after simplify, we found that the value of x is equal to positive 1 over 4 pi. So since it is a positive value, so means we need to do the translation to the right hand side for 1 over 4 pi. So this means that all the value of x here need to be shifted to the right hand side for 1 over 4 pi. So after shifting, so generally the graph looks like this. Now after shifting, the graph looks like this. Now we try to label the important point. Now we start from the first point here. So the first point here, before shifting, it is 0. So after shifting, it should become to 1 over 4 pi. So next, for the x-intercept, before shifting, it is 3 over 8 pi. After shifting means we plus 1 over 4 pi. So when we plus 1 over 4 pi, we will get 5 over 8 pi. So we label this one as 5 over 8 pi. Now for the maximum point, before shifting, it is 3 over 4 pi. After shifting with plus 1 over 4 pi, means that is new value, that is pi. Then after that, the x-intercept, before shifting, it is 9 over 8 pi. After shifting, plus 1 over 4 pi, so we will get 11 over 8 pi. So we label here 11 over 8 pi. Then when we come to the minimum point, before shifting is 3 over 2 pi. After shifting, where we plus 1 over 4 pi, we will get 7 over 4 pi. So we label here 7 over 4 pi. Next, for the x-intercept, before shifting is 15 over 8 pi. After shifting, then we will get 17 over 8 pi. So this one is 17 over 8 pi. Then the last value before shifting is 2 pi. After shifting means 2 pi plus 1 over 4 pi. It is 9 over 4 pi. So we label here 9 over 4 pi. Now up to here, generally we have already finished all the transformation. But always remember, we still have the last step need to be carried out. That is, we always need to confirm that the domain. So in this question, the domain is greater than 0 and less than 2 pi. So when we look at the diagram, we found that the graph, it is not in the domain. So we can see that here we have a missing part after we shift the graph to the left. And on the right hand side, it is already out of the domain 2 pi. So means we need to do correction after this. Now we look at the left hand side. In order to replace back this missing part, so what we need to do is we try to calculate the value of the function when x it is equal to 0, where we need to find the y-intercept. So to do this, we need to calculate when x is equal to 0, y is negative 2 cos. We substitute x with 0 and we try to find the value, and we found that the value is negative 1. So means the y-intercept is negative 1. So we label here negative 1 means the graph here we replace from here up to here. As for the right hand side, when we look at the diagram, we can see that this value 9 over 4 is more than 2 pi. So means this is out of the range that we want. And same thing, 17 over 8 pi also, it is more than 2 pi. So means these 2 points are out of range of the value of x. So 7 over 4 pi is less than 2. Means 2 pi is somewhere in between 7 over 4 pi up to 17 over 8 pi. It is somewhere here. So, same thing, we need to calculate the value, where we need to calculate when x it is equal to 2 pi, what is the value of y. So, we substitute into the equation. When x it is equal to 2 pi, so when we calculate, we found that value is equal to negative 1. So means it is same as the point at the beginning. So means the 2 pi is somewhere here. Now after the correction, this is the graph for the final curve. So we can see that the final graph is y equals negative 2 cos 4 over 3x minus 1 over 3 pi, where the value of x is from 0 up to 2 pi. And please remember to label the end point here. So the end point at the end and end point at the beginning. These 2 points must be labeled very clear. Thanks for watching.